I see the Zoom room is starting to fill up. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the virtual speaker session with the Penn State Alumni Association. We'll be getting started in just a minute. As always, go ahead and tell us who you are and where you're zooming in from. And what your Penn State class year is. We'll get started in just 1 minute. Good morning, Taylor. Good to see you. We will be getting started in 30 seconds. I see Barbara from Delaware. Welcome, Barbara. As always, Pete Sheridan tuning in, class of 98 from Blandon, Pennsylvania. Good to see everybody. Lauren, class of 2014, tuning in. Good to see everybody. Where else would you rather be than a Zoom full of Penn Staters? I'm Paul Clifford, CEO of the Penn State Alumni Association, and welcome to the Penn State Alumni Association's Coffee Hour. Each week on Coffee Hour, you can expect to hear the voices of Penn Staters talking about what they're passionate about. And you can expect to feel the power of the Penn State network in each episode in which each story that we share. Live closed captions are available for this event. You can access them by clicking the closed caption button at the bottom of your Zoom video window and then clicking show subtitle. You may also customize your caption view by clicking the stream to text link that is posted in the chat. We are recording this session and we will be sharing it with other Penn Staters for inspiration. Today, we're going to talk to TV personality and businessman John Colaneri. In addition to being one of the Cousins on HGTV, John Culinary stands out as a dynamic business maven in his own right. You've already seen the New Jersey native beef up and bolster homes across the US with his cousin and best friend, Anthony Carrino, on multiple hit shows on HGTV. Now their latest endeavors are with Ellen DeGeneres Digital team in launching original shows. HGTV came calling back in 2011 and offered the Cousins their first show. And over the course of Kitchen Cousins, Cousins on Call, and Cousins Undercover, this powerful and precise pair saved countless homes, with John remaining instrumental in the vision. In 2019, John launched his own development company called Lily Shade Development LLC. That will focus on high-end residential design and custom spec homes that he's developing and designing where he lives in New Jersey. The Cousins also launched their first children's book, What Can You Do with the Toolbox, in September of 2018, and it became a #1 seller on Amazon. I'm excited to welcome TV personality and businessman John Colaneri to Coffee Hour. Welcome, John.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
I'm doing great. We should have an applause track behind us.
Yeah,
as we bring guests in.
Yeah.
So, John, first of all, how are you and Jen and the girls dealing with the pandemic?
So far everything's good. I mean, definitely, I think back in your March, April, and May months, it was a little chaotic, especially since I was just finishing up our home that I'm here in now. I was in the middle of doing the entire gut renovation of this house when the pandemic hit. It caused a lot of problems.
Right,
did not make things easy. Definitely delayed in finishing, but we got it done. We're in the house. We're moved in. My daughter has now started kindergarten, which is great. I'm so happy to see that they were actually able to open up schools here. It's not the full day. It's a half day, and then she does her Zoom classes in the afternoon. But overall, I think we're making the best of this situation. I think everybody's learning and adapting, and that's what you have to do in life. Life is it is about adapting and growing, and it's definitely happened over my career as well.
Absolutely. I'm sure we're going to talk about those themes throughout the rest of the hour that we're going to spend together this morning. But let's start right at the beginning. You grew up northern New Jersey, outside New York City. How did you become a Penn Stater?
So I became a Penn Stater. It's really funny. So I always had a dream of going to Notre Dame. It was as a kid growing up, watching Notre Dame football, and it just, Rudy, it was a big movie when I was a kid. So I was always into it. We did all these visits, and we were hitting all these different schools as we were driving out to South Bend. Penn State was on it. My mom wanted to stop because my parents actually lived right outside of State College when my dad was in his residency. So they lived there. It was about like a year and a half to 2 years. My mom did grad school at Penn State, and I actually did pre-K at Penn State as well. That's where I started my first school ever. So all the kids, when they're on the rope walking around Penn State, I was one of those little kids, because she would drop me off there in the morning, and she would go do some of her grad school classes. And she loved it. She always loved Penn State. It really wasn't on my radar as a high school student because I thought it was so big. I really was nervous. And I think a lot of kids feel that same way. When I didn't go to a small high school, but it wasn't the largest of high schools. And I was nervous. I was like, no, it's too big for me. When we went up there, it was a pouring day on the campus as we were doing the tour and everything. But I liked what I saw, and I was getting excited about it. I did not get into Notre Dame. So, it kind of made a couple of my choices easier, and I did get into State College, into Penn State, and the rest is kind of history from there.
Absolutely. You mentioned the size of the institution, and for a lot of high schoolers looking to go to college, that the size is intimidating. You started at a Commonwealth campus,
Yes.
which actually shrunk the experience down a little bit, so that maybe as a freshman, it might have been easier to make that transition. What was that experience like for you?
Absolutely. I think, of course, when I applied to main campus. I didn't get in, and I got into Hazleton and a couple of the others there. And I chose Hazleton because actually it was the closest for me from North Jersey. It was a 2-hour drive. And I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, do I want to go to a smaller campus like that? I want to be at the main campus. But in retrospect, it was the best thing for me to do my freshman year, because coming out of high school, living with your parents, I definitely was sheltered. I didn't know how to take care of myself. I didn't know how to do those things you learned. And I think being on a large campus, I might have really gotten too overwhelmed. And with the smaller campus for myself, and I think my personality, it definitely was the better fit. And I learned a lot about myself my freshman year going to Hazleton. And the greatest part about being at Hazleton my freshman year is all the students I met there really were my best friends all through my 4 years at Penn State. When everybody started, I only stayed there 1 year. Some of my other friends stayed there 2 years and then transferred up. But still, those are the ones that I always was the closest to throughout my entire experience at Penn State.
There's that great Damon's off campus. If you drove down 93 a little bit, there was a great root beer stand down there at Stewart's. I grew up in the Hazleton area, and so we were on that campus all the time. Plus the leg workout that you get walking on the up and down those hills.
Those hills are crazy. And Hazleton it's a beautiful campus. I actually they invited me. I think it was like 4 years ago. I went and I did the commencement speech there. And it was really great to kind of go back. And the thing I loved also about going to Hazleton for my freshman year is I got to play baseball there. So, I was, growing up playing sports in high school. I love baseball, and I played my freshman year there, and it was a great experience.
Absolutely. Joe, what else were you involved in at Penn State? You played baseball at Hazleton. How about other activities while you were a student?
Yeah. So then when I got up to the main campus, my roommate and I from Hazleton went up together after freshman year. He was from New Jersey as well, so it was really great that we got to go up to the main campus, and we lived off site together. So it worked out perfect. One of his best friends from New Jersey was in Chi-Fi, so he got us to rush, and we went into Chi-Fi. I went through with it. I did it for a year, and then I realized I was like, I don't really want to be in a fraternity. I thought the fraternity kind of boxed me in a little bit, but I did all the homecoming and the philanthropy work that we did with them, which was great. And then my junior and senior year, I wasn't in the fraternity anymore after that.
So you graduate from Penn State. You had a couple of early professional experiences before returning to what is the family business. I mean, your family has been in the construction industry for a long time.
I have a lot of uncles. A
yeah.
lot. It's multiple construction companies. It's not even one. It's it's a lot of people.
So when you graduated, was that the plan? I mean, was the plan to always go back and work for one of your uncles?
So no, it wasn't the plan. So for me, coming out of high school, again, I think like so many young people, you don't know the direction you're in. Now, it's kind of funny. People follow in their footsteps of their parents a lot of times. My father was a doctor. Now, he told me for years and years, he's like, I don't want you being a doctor. It's not the profession I grew up with. He's like, I don't want you to do that at all. That was his mantra. But that's all he knew. So he didn't, I don't think to his fault, but he didn't know the path to lead me in, because he knew of the path of being a doctor. So for me, it was something I kind of had to learn on my own and figure out what did I like. Now, the obvious choice for me was like, okay, well, I'll look into business, because business is broad and you can kind of branch off of that and do things. I got into labor and industrial relations because I liked labor law, and I thought, well, maybe I wasn't sure if I wanted to be an attorney, but maybe I could work with unions and work with, be on both sides of it. Because you definitely have to take business as a core when you're doing that as well. So I wasn't exactly sure. The one thing I did know in high school is I always loved architecture. I took drafting classes my senior year of high school. I loved that. There was something I had a passion for, but I didn't know it was actually going to come out further along in my career down that path. So it's, I think when you're young, you're doing a lot of experiencing, and you're learning about yourself on how you relate and about things that you kind of love. So the fact that I got to take the business classes, I got to have that strong base. And then later in my career, I actually got to go into the things that were in the back of my mind that I wasn't sure it was going to kind of hit on at a later point in my career. It happened.
Well, if that wasn't part of the plan, I'm certain having your own IMDb page wasn't part of the plan either.
No, nothing. Well, but you know what, Paul, that's what life, I think, and it's funny because now being a father, having two little girls, and of course they're not anywhere near college yet, thank God. Right. Let's focus on this stuff. But it's, there's so many things to kind of learn and understand, and the directions to kind of give that insight. Sometimes as you get older, you have to kind of experience it and learn it on your own. You could only, as a parent, I think you want to give that advice. You want to throw that out there, but at the same time, so many kids that are becoming adults, because even though you're 18, they say they're adults. There's a lot more growing to kind of go on. They have to experience it. and they have to have failures, and failures is a very large part in life that I think everybody has to experience at some point.
Absolutely. This is the Penn State Alumni Association's Coffee Hour. I'm Paul Clifford. I'm joined by TV personality and great Penn Stater, John Colaneri. John, as I started to prepare for the interview, what I was struck by is that on the surface, it might appear that your passion is for the construction business. But as I dug into it, and what we're going to spend most of our time on over the next 20 minutes or so, is what I think is your real passion, and that's helping others. Am I onto something there?
Yeah, 100%. That, I mean, the work that I've gotten to do through the television definitely has made it a lot larger than I could have on an individual basis ever have done. That's been the great part of the television shows, any of the appearances that I've done, because we've gotten to take it 10 steps further, and make these large impacts. And, you know, putting out a helping hand and helping somebody, especially you look at our climate, what's going on right now, I think it's the most important part, as a person, as a father, as a husband, that anybody can kind of show. And I think we all should be doing things like that. That's something that's very, very important. And it's not something I was even sure that was going to be my path. It's kind of been evolved, and it's happened. I love doing Thon, of course, at Penn State, and going down and volunteering and helping out in any way that I could there. And then you kind of see that happen as you get older. It's made me a better person also.
Absolutely. So let's go back, take us back to 2011. You and Anthony were working in one of your family businesses. How did you go from working in that field to starring on your own television show?
So very unconventional, not the way that a lot of people, of course, I think the conventional way is there's a casting call. People go in for an actual audition. There is a show that they are looking to make. None of that happened with us. Zero. There wasn't any show that was in the works. What happened was, so while we were finishing up one of our largest development projects, it was 22 units, $10 million project. It was something that we put so much work, time, effort into, and then we had the collapse of the financial system in 2009, 2010. Real estate was decimated. It was a really big learning experience for myself to go through something like that. We had this huge multi-million-dollar loan to pay back to a bank for building it. My uncle, of course, through his life work, put up a lot of the money in his assets to get that. I knew as his nephew, I'm like, I can't have him lose everything. We have to sell this building and get out from underneath it. So, you know, as we were doing that, we got a lot of notoriety, especially even from the New York Times, about the design of the building, what we did. One of my friends said, hey, you know what? I'm going to film you. Why don't you walk me through the building, show us what the design, what you guys did. And she did that for a couple of days and kind of followed us even in our office, and did a very documentary style filming. And she had no clue anyone in the TV industry. And she actually sent it out to just a production company in Manhattan that she found on Google. And once she did that, they said, oh, I kind of like this video, you know, it looks good. And it happened to be that person, his roommate in college, was a vice president at DIY Network. He liked it. He said, you know what, these guys have something. I like their personalities. Let's send out a professional video, send the guys out. They came out, and it was kind of one of those things where I didn't know what to expect. I really wasn't thinking anything about it. They filmed us again for a day in our lives. 10 months later, you know, midway through 2011, you know, this was almost a year later. I didn't even think of anything. They said, hey, you know, can you guys do a kitchen show? Maybe you can drive over to this person's house in Hoboken and film with them. And that was
Right.
it. Like it wasn't this big production. It wasn't me meeting with TV network people. It was literally just showing up one day, cameras there, and they said, "Hey, just do what you do." And that was it. And from then on, it kind of, went down this rabbit hole of the Cousins brand was born. We were one of the first docu-series style, shows out there, and we just kept on going.
And what an amazing run. I mean, you look at the entertainment industry, right? You have been working fairly consistently for the past decade in the entertainment
10
industry.
years. Yeah.
That's an anomaly.
Paul, it's a hard industry, my friend. It
Yeah.
is. Yes. You know what? And look, I have those moments, I'm going to tell everybody, anyone that's on this or will watch this in the future when it's taped, it's hard, man. And I have you get a lot more no's than yeses. And that's taught me so much about myself and how to overcome so many of those obstacles, because you have to realize you are in this really big pond, and if you think like, oh, I'm the star, or I'm the one that's going to be the best, there's someone that's coming right after you on your heels. Hold on, let my daughter say.
That's all right.
Say hi. Say hi. Say hi to everybody. Say hello. We say hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, look at that smile.
She's smiling.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So it's one of those things that I had to really evaluate myself and say, is this gonna be a career move that I'm gonna put the dedication into? And I think so many people, when they get into any type of career, they think it's gonna be easy, like, oh, I'm just gonna move up the ranks, no problem. It's tough, man. It's life is not something that you think it's just going to happen for you. You have to make things happen. And I've actually realized that. I thought, once the TV show happened, all these things were going to fall in line. I've made things happen because I pursued them. Even the Ellen relationship that we have, that was really our hard work. We had the initial introduction, but it was us really pursuing it and having the relationship around it. And something I want everybody to learn from this, if there's anything I could teach, especially about Penn State alumni, it is those relationships that matter in life. I cannot stress how important they are. That's why I love being so involved with Penn State, because it's the relationships of talking with someone like you, talking with so many of the alumni. Our alumni, when I go anywhere, everyone's like, oh my God, I was at Penn State. I'm a Penn Stater. That goes a long way. And those, bye baby. And those relationships really matter in your career and in life as well.
Absolutely. And John, you learned a lot about yourself. Excuse me, a lot about yourself in this process. What did you need to learn moving from one industry to the entertainment industry? Were you how did you get comfortable in front of the camera, or was it just really them filming what you were doing every day and you explaining what you were already comfortable talking about? Talk about the learning curve and moving from watching TV to being on TV.
So, well, I'll say this, definitely having a class like speech at Penn State, when we had to give, stand up in front of everybody and give our presentations, and it definitely helped. Those are things that I look back on, very, very important for students to understand how to talk in front of people and not be shy and be outgoing. That's why it's so important. I feel that children should be in school being in front of their students and not always doing these Zoom in home, because it's vital to have those personal skills. On top of that, I think the way that I kind of transitioned into television, one of my showrunners, who's still one of my best friends to this day, he shot all of our Cousins shows, a gentleman by the name of Nick. he always told me, he's like, John, he goes, the only thing I can tell you when you're doing television, because he had a lot of experiences, he said, be yourself. People can see through phony. They can see people that are not authentic. If you are you and you truly speak from the heart and you're passionate about it, it's going to come across. And that advice he gave me on day one, I've taken, and I really believe it. And I think it's kind of anything in life. You have to be authentic. You have to be somebody that you're really putting your all into it. And so many people can tell when people aren't authentic or they're not passionate about it. I tell students, young kids, or even adults today, you have to have the passion in what you do for your career. If you don't have that passion, if it's not something that you love, then you probably should find a new career in a new path. That's one of those things. If I didn't have the passion for design, for construction, and even also for being an entrepreneur, because that's really kind of what I look at myself now. It's not easy having your own business. I don't have a paycheck that shows up every week. I have to go out for that. Even working for someone like HGTV, I'm considered a consultant. I'm not employed by them. And you have to work and hit certain milestones to even get that money that you actually want. I work with a lot of brands. I do a lot of brand work, whether it's social media, commercials, things like that. Same way, if I'm not hitting certain milestones for them or doing certain things, they're not going to come back, or I'm not going to have them again as someone that I'm actually working for in the future. So I'm constantly trying to do better and improve the things that I do.
John, you've had some pretty interesting experiences throughout your career. A couple HGTV/DIY series. You've made regular appearances on the Rachel Ray Show. Now you're working with Ellen DeGeneres. Can you talk a little bit about some of those experiences and some of your favorite memories from throughout your career?
So I think as far as Ellen goes, and I want to even say this. I know she's been in the news so much this past summer, and I think first off, everyone, what you read in the news, there's a lot of fake news, unfortunately. I have direct experience with these people, and I know a lot of behind the scenes. Yes, there are some bad apples. There's bad apples in any industry. We can go down the biggest rabbit hole ever of people doing the wrong thing in so many different parts of our lives. But there is a lot of good people, and Ellen has a good heart. She is somebody that cares. The fact that she does these amazing things, and I've gotten to be a part of it, where I've literally gotten to give homes to people, whether it's our military, whether it's teachers, whether it's local heroes like firefighters or police officers that put themselves on the line. I've gotten to be a part of that. I've gotten to literally give them giving someone a home is probably one of the most amazing, best experiences I could ever have. It's something that not only transforms their current life, but their kids' lives and their families' lives for years to come. And it creates wealth for years. So amazing experiences. Going on shows like Rachel Ray and giving insight and giving tips and helping people. I love doing that because I love educating people and giving them, the things you should do, learning from my mistakes, because I made a ton of mistakes. It's like, don't do this. I've done it wrong. Those are the fun parts about going on these shows and getting to do that. And, it's one of those things everyone's like, oh, how does it feel to be on TV and be there with cameras? And the best thing I could say is the first couple of times, it definitely is, it's a shock, and you have to learn a little bit how to talk and how to respond and how to wait and pause and do those things. But then after a while, it does become work, and it becomes an everyday type of thing.
So John, we've talked about your career in the construction industry. We've talked about your career now on television. most people would be exhausted, but not the Cousins, right? The Cousins then turn around in 2018 and they drop a children's book. How did that
Yeah.
come about?
So that came about. My wife, who you saw walking back
Right.
and forth here, um, so she always would tell us, she's like, "Hey, look, why don't you guys do a kids book?" Because we've always been involved. Any of our shows too, there's always kids involved with the families, and kids do like, I think, the personality of Anthony and I. I'm loud. I like to laugh. So kids think I'm like a big kid. Um, and she's like, you guys should do a kid's book. And I think it would make a lot of sense, because we were trying to figure out, should we do a book, or is it going to be one of those coffee table books that a lot of designers do, where it's images and pictures of their work? And we wanted to do something that was different. And we pitched an idea to Simon and Schuster. They liked it. We said, with our work with the Ellen Show, we help a lot of communities. We think this would be a great opportunity to show children at a young age tools, how they work in a very basic way, just to get them introduced. And at the end, it creates a playground, which every kid loves the playground. There's no kid that does not love that. And that was the impetus kind of behind the book. And it was something different, because there's no one really in our industry that has done those kids books like that. And it was just a fun experience. And the fact that we got to go to libraries and all these different schools and read the books, it's very, very fulfilling, and something cool that you get to see those kids get excited about it.
Absolutely. The other thing that I want to ask you about, I know you've been into fitness for a long time. You've actually turned that into another way to help people and entertain. Tell us about Culinary Extreme Fitness, CXF.
Yeah, so I've always, again, fitness, playing sports in high school, playing baseball at Penn State, I've always loved doing that. It's been one of those things that it's been a part of my life since I've been, I think, 7 years old, as a young kid. So I really wanted to show people kind of what I do, my workout routines. I go to CrossFit a lot. It's something that I love, that kind of interactive fitness. And it's more than just working out. I feel, yes, of course, we all say, oh, well, you want to be healthy. Well, it goes beyond that, because it's a state of mind. For me as well, I need that sometimes to kind of clear my mind. That is my Zen moment to kind of relax and calm down. And on top of it, having a lot of energy for my daughters and the busy life that I have, I need that. I really do. I haven't been traveling as much, of course, because everything that's been going on. But when I was on my routine of either shooting shows or doing talks around the country on design and construction, traveling, as you know, Paul, it taxes the body. So for me to be able to have that fitness and have that level, it's just really important for me.
Absolutely. John, the other thing that I've been kind of thinking about when I think about your career is that, some people enjoy the kind of career that you've enjoyed, and it's been kind of an individual experience. But you get to do this with your cousin, a guy you grew up with, a guy who was, all of our first friends, right, were our cousins that we would that we would play with at family events. What's it been like to be able to share this experience with someone who's been close with you forever?
Yeah, so I am the oldest of three boys. So Anthony's 2 years older than me, so he always was like a big brother. Right. And I think anybody, doesn't matter if you're the oldest in everyone kind of has that big brother, or that person that you look up to. Anthony would drive me to high school. So I felt cool. I was like, oh, I'm a sophomore, he's a senior. Like, oh man, I'm getting driven by a senior to high school. It was like the coolest thing for me. And that is one of the most amazing parts about my career and what I've done. I've definitely done these amazing experiences, gotten to go on these unbelievable shows that I never thought. But the fact that I've got to do it with my cousin, and we'll have those memories, when we're 80 years old and wrinkly, we'll be sitting there saying, you remember that time we went out there, we met this person, And that's the best part about it, because life is about experiences and it's about sharing those memories. That's why you love to have your family around you, because you want to share those memories with people. And in business, which has been so instrumental, I have those memories with him, and him and I can, we can sit down for hours and talk about, and literally we will just laugh, and tears will come out of our eyes, because there has been some incredibly funny moments. And it's a blessing that I've actually been able to do that with him. And I don't think it would have been the same experience. And I don't even know if I would have been able to do it and keep on doing it as long as I have been doing it, because again, the traveling, the nonstop, I've had days where it's just, it's 7 days a week, 15-hour days. You need somebody to lean on, and you need that person to kind of take a little slack off of you.
Absolutely. So John, normally when TV personalities go on to other people's shows, usually plugging a show that's coming up, or they have a clip to show. We're actually going to turn the tables on you here, and I'm going to show a clip of you and an example of, let me see here. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to pull this up here. Just an example of one of the ways that you give back to Penn State, and that you gave back to Penn State during the pandemic. So let me go ahead and share this. There we go.
And all I can say is great things come out of bad situations. And that greatness is you. You are the one that are going to take us to the next level. You are going to inspire. You are going to create. You're going to have the passion and the growth. That is what it is about to be a Penn Stater. You are going to do something that is truly inspirational. And I want you to know, if you have that passion and you go full force, you are going to change things. Take this moment right now, seize it. Make sure this is something that you remember, because I guarantee you there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and there are great things coming. I just want to say congratulations again. I am so proud of you, and I have to do this because it's tradition. We are!
John, that was the video message from you to the class of 2020 after they have had their semester kind of altered abruptly by COVID-19. Why is it important for you to give back to Penn State in so many different ways like you have over the years?
Well, I think you've seen, we talk a lot, even this talk, a lot about family, of course, giving back, helping others. And Penn State is my family. That's why you go to a school like Penn State. It's not just a college. It's not just a place you go in and you bring your books and you sit down with a teacher. It's truly an experience. That's what it means to me to go to college. That's the whole purpose of it. It's to make you and mold you into a better person. That's what Penn State did to me. So for me to talk to those students, give back a little bit, and let them know, there's a lot more that's going to come in life. It's not just, I know you kind of live in a bubble of those couple of years when you're on campus, and it's hard to look past that, but there's so much more that I want them to know that they're going to do in life. And it's really important for them to see, even people like me that are alumni, how much Penn State means to me, because I'm going to say it, I'll be turning 40 years old next year. I can't believe it. It's actually
oh my God,
happening.
Thoughts and prayers, John, thoughts and prayers.
It's crazy. But it's one of those things that I will never, ever forget my experience at Penn State. And it definitely made me into the type of person I am. And it keeps on making me better and grow. The fact that I get to do things like this with you and the alumni, go back for special events, that's the whole point. It's not just a 4-year thing or 5 years if you're doing, you know, a grad program. It's a life. It's literally a lifelong journey. When we're 60, 70, 80, we're going to be taught, oh, Penn State, I'm going back to campus. I want to go to a game. I want to go for an event that's going on there. I want to help the students out. That's really what it's about.
Oh my God. Now you're coming after my job. I mean, I feel like you're preaching from my hymnal here this morning. That's exactly right. I mean, what high school students think is going to be a 4-year experience is a lifelong decision, right? I couldn't have said it better myself. John, let's have some fun here. So just in the last couple of minutes that we have together, I'm going to throw some really quick hitters out at you, and you give me kind of like what pops to mind. So your favorite Penn State memory?
Favorite Penn State memory has to be just fun in general. The years that I got to go there, whether it was very early in the morning, support my friends that were dancing, or be a volunteer. Amazing to give back and see that the children that would come down and the smiles on their face definitely made an impact for me then. And of course, it's helped me in my career, even the work that I do with kids now.
So your favorite class at Penn State?
Favorite class? I think my favorite class, it's probably gonna have to be, I think, my speech class. You know, talking, and being in front and learning those auditory skills, something that's helped me out huge in my career right now. I get in front of people all the time. So definitely has helped me over the years.
Great. Your favorite spot or your favorite building on campus?
Favorite spot, I'm going to say, I mean, I don't think there's anything like walking past Old Main every day. It's you know, definitely one of the oldest, and it just makes you smile. I think staring out onto the lawn, looking through the trees, it's amazing. So I would have to, I think that definitely is. I mean, look, the football stadium, I think, is everyone's favorite spot because you know, it's just that is. But Old Main, I actually have a picture. It's a huge panorama of Old Main right after it snowed, and it's called First Snow, that I got from one of the photo shops across the street there. And I got that right when I graduated, and I love that picture because it's tranquil, serene. No kids have messed the snow yet, and it just looks good. It looks gorgeous.
That's amazing. John, we hear about Penn Staters running into other Penn Staters all over the world, right? They're out and about just in their daily lives, and all of a sudden they hear "We Are." What's your most unusual "We Are" moment?
My most unusual. I mean, you know what? I think in general, I cannot believe how many people that went to State College and are active alumni, because I go, it doesn't matter if I'm doing a talk on the West Coast, if I'm doing it down in Florida, it doesn't matter where I am. There's always Penn State alumni there. My wife, she just bought this wreath off of Etsy. This girl, entrepreneur. I think she graduated in like 2012, 2013, somewhere around there.
Right.
And my wife's talking to her, and she's like, she's like, did your husband go to Penn State? And she's like, yes. And then she sent me a direct message on Instagram, and we start talking about Penn State. And she's like, she actually lives in State College, and she never left. And she has this amazing business where she makes these beautiful wreaths. So it's not just a person. I think it's the people, because they are all walks of life. That's the most amazing part. It's like this, you know, this girl that makes these beautiful wreaths, small business. There she is, Penn State alumni.
Right. So your favorite Penn State sport?
It's going to have to be football. I know. I think that's the cliche.
Right.
But I loved going to basketball games. I went to the wrestling matches. I went to volleyball games. They were always a lot of fun. And it's, it's kind of one of those amazing things just to see the student body in general, because we love all of our sports so much. And we're so passionate about it.
All right. Final question. Your favorite flavor of creamery ice cream?
Gonna have to go with the old staple, mint chocolate chip mint. It's
Okay.
it's just my go-to. Call it boring or whatever you want. That is my one that I do love.
Absolutely. If you have questions for John, go ahead and drop them in the Q&A box. John, when we first met, I think my first reaction was, wait, aren't you Jamie Culinari's cousin?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So Jamie's a famous Penn Stater in her own right. Give a shout out to her and the work that she's doing in Northern New Jersey.
Yeah, so my cousin Jamie is amazing. She has been emailing me the past couple of days as soon as she saw everything go out and announcing that I was going to be on with you. Jamie it's unbelievable to see the work that she has done and continues to do through Penn State alumni, running the North Jersey part of where I live.
Right.
She has such a passion. And that's what it means, and I remember, because I am her older cousin, when I was going to Penn State and they were talking to my parents saying, oh, Jamie's thinking of going to Penn State, we were going to go for a visit, and they knew how much I loved the school and how much, it was one of those things. It was just an unbelievable experience. And to see the work that she does and how many people she helps, it makes me proud. It says, you know what? I got a pretty good family. I got a good family. The work that we do. So it is amazing.
Absolutely, she does great work for us. Shout out to Jamie Colaneri, one of our great volunteers through the Penn State Alumni Association. Look, I can only imagine her dad was a character. Such a great guy. I can just imagine holidays and all the laughs that you all would have.
We definitely going up to they have a farmhouse in Pennsylvania, and we've had a lot of fun times, a lot of good times.
Hey John, your accomplishments have swelled thy fame of Penn State, and for that we're truly grateful. Thanks for joining me on Coffee Hour this morning and allowing us to share your story.
Yeah, Paul, thank you. Anytime you want to talk, and I always tell this to you and other alumni, anything I can do, advice that I can give to help the students, to give back a little bit from my experiences, I'm always more than happy to do it. I think it makes a big difference, especially for students to hear from alumni. And I think it's very important for alumni in general to give back and show that, because it helps so many young students on their journey in life.
Well, we want to thank all of you for tuning in this morning on Coffee Hour, whether you're on Facebook Live or right here in the Zoom room. Thank you for joining us. If you're a member of the Penn State Alumni Association, thank you so much for your support. If you're not, what are you waiting for? Go onto our website and join at alumni.psu.edu/join, and you too can become a member of the world's largest alumni association. Tune in tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Thursday. We will be back with Football Letter Live with John Black and our Football Letter Live photographer, Steve Manuel. Until then, thanks for all you do for the glory, for the university, and for the future. We are
Penn State, yeah.